Future news, brothers and sisters. Future news. Sulaiman Rahim here, the Messenger of Covenant. Break us 7 seals. I just want to point out a couple of things here, brothers and sisters. See this passage right here? Keep up prayer for the declining of the sun to darkness of the night and recital at the Quran at dawn. Recital of the Quran at dawn. Here the recital of the Quran at dawn is witness. Witness by who? And during part of the night, keep awake by it. Beyond wasn't coming on thee. So that means it's incumbent upon you to recite the Quran. She says beyond words are coming, so it must be something. So in other words, it's duty to you. It's a duty for you to do it. But it says if you do this beyond what the duty is. So in other words, you see, because nobody's talking about reciting the Quran, they talking about prayer, but they don't. They say it's something else. But here it's telling you prayer this recital of the Quran is a duty. Is that do what beyond was incumbent on thee, right? Look up the word incumbent, because we prove everything here. So let me go ahead and take a second and do a little interactive stuff here. Incumbent. Incumbent. Necessary for as a duty or responsibility. See, it's responsibility to recite the Quran. But you hear Sunnis saying that, they say, well, they may say, like on Ramadan or something, maybe. They tell me, well, you're not going to have prayers today. But I never heard anyone say it's there's a duty to recite the Quran. And listen, let's go beyond that. And so what's the duty? Because the only duty they say, as far as this type of thing, is saying 5 prayers a day. So what's going on here? Let's go a little further. Maybe wasn't coming, and keep awake by it. Beyond wasn't coming on thee, but what's the incumbency? What's the duty? What's the frequency? Beyond that Lord, maybe that Lord raised to a position of great glory. Wait a minute. Just reciting the Quran itself raise your position of great glory. Right? And we see the Master Muhammad recite 6 to 8 hours a night. Think about that. Keep up prayer. They say do men's prayer, but they don't say prayer anymore. From the declining of the sun to the darkness of the night. And recite the Quran at dawn. And the recital of the Quran at dawn. Hold it. Let's look at this again. Keep up prayer from the declining of the sun to the darkness of the night. And recite the Quran. Is that what are they defining what prayer is? Let's look at this again. Keep up prayer from the declining of the sun to the darkness of the night, and recital of the Quran at dawn. Listen carefully. Keep up prayer from the declining of the sun to the darkness of the night, and recital of the Quran at dawn. Right? Now, you're supposed to keep up prayer from the declining of the sun to the darkness of the night. That's the incumbency. Right? Keep prayer from the declining of the sun to the darkness of night. Inside the Quran at dawn. Right? That's something special. Sure, inside the Quran at dawn is witness. That's special. Right? And during part of the night, keep awake by it beyond was coming on thee. See, the incumbency is up that first verse there. They're connecting prayer and silent of the Quran is the same thing. Beyond was coming, may the Lord raise to a position of great glory. And we stay very carefully, brothers and sisters, because that's the incumbency right there. Prayer and recital of the Quran is the same thing. Dear prayer from the declining sun to dark night, and recital of the Quran at dawn. right? So you think that's something recital is something other than prayer? I don't think so. Care prayer from the declining of the sun to the darkness of the night, and the shout of the cry at dawn. See, so from to the darkness to the declining of the sun to darkness of night. See, that's the dust. Right, dust is going, the sun's going down, right, and dawn is what's coming up. So from the decline, so when the night starts, right, and then when new day starts, right, recite. So in other words, that's part of the same thing. At dawn, sure, because they don't say anything about prayer at dawn. They don't say anything about prayer at dawn, but you're supposed to pray at dawn, but they don't say it. They say recital at dawn. They say prayer from the declining of the sun to the darkness of night. And then in the dawn, they reference the recital. So recital, dawn is witness, it said. Right? And during part of the night, keep awake by it. Hold it. Right? So again, right? Because during part of the night, but the night is the declining of the sun to darkness, so they connecting again, reciting to prayer. Because remember the prayer, when you say distinctly say prayer, that's the darkness night. Declining of the sun to darkness of night. And during part of the night, that means, right? During the time of prayer, keep awake by it. So it's while you're awake, right? You should be reciting. So the only way you can pray is when you're awake. You get the connection, brothers and sisters. Are you feeling me? Yeah, I wasn't coming on it. I was go do it extra. See, and that's when Master Muhammad would recite during the nighttime. May the Lord raise to this in great glory. You think about it, brothers and sisters. You got another explanation? Well, tell me. What he's telling you is recital, in the Quran, is prayer. Right? And if you can do it, right, doing all night long to dawn, keep awake by it, and that's what Master Muhammad used to do. Raise position of great glory. You can do it. I can't do it. So, I tried. Right? See? So somebody said, I thought you said you don't try to do anything. Well, I probably shouldn't use that word because I gave it, like I said, I tried it. Right? I tried it out to see how it works. And still between trying to try something to accomplish it. I was trying to see how it works. So that's what I'm going to do, so let me do it. So I tried, right? And I found out how it worked, and I learned something from it as a result of that. I learned more about, because during that time, the big thing was that scientists and doctors were saying, we need to sleep. Because they said your brain needs to do all this stuff, you need to dream, all that kind of stuff. I'm saying, Master Muhammad, he doesn't sleep, so nothing wrong with his brain as far as I know. Right? And so that's when I learned more about how sleep works and learn more about energy deprivation. Because at that point, right, I understood at that point that this happened, right, before I broke the seals. Energy deprivation, I learned more about it because the thing is, I realized that we live on a 24-hour cycle. If we get enough energy, and in other words, if you need 24,000 units of energy per day and use 1,000 per hour, then you got enough to this whole thing. So from one charge to the next charge, you're fully charged. But if you need 1,000 an hour, instead of getting 24,000, take it the whole day, you get 16,000. That means you only go 16,000. So then you got to go on charge for 6 hours, 8 hours, right? And then you can go for you understand what I'm saying? So that maybe help me understand those type of things. right? Because the reason why he could do it is because he had a modified body. The reason I couldn't do it because I don't have a modified body, and I was trying to do something that is impossible for me to do, because I don't have enough energy to do that. And all that came out of me experimenting with that. I shouldn't say I tried. I experimented with it to see how it worked, get an understanding of it. Like I said, I don't knock anything before I try it. Well, I don't look at anything. Well, I'm going to use the word try again. Fasting and everything else. Always go in and experiment it, try to understand it. Right? So, and my experience with fasting helped me understand that better. So now I know how to do these things. I know when to do them, how to do them. I know slots, right? Prayer, and how to use it for my benefit, right? And do those types of things. Let me move on, brothers and sisters. I just want you to look at that, right? So look at this. Seest thou not, thou liest, he whom do glorify all those who are in the heavens and earth, and the birds with wings outspread. Each one knows his prayer and his glorification. The lies know what to do. You mean birds pray? Right? They don't read the Quran. They don't say 5 prayers a day. You know anything about them. But they say they pray. Each one knows his prayer. So what are you talking about here, brothers and sisters? Because only birds do this, follow their nature. So they say their nature is their prayer. Because when you follow your nature, right, that's submission to Allah, isn't it? See, and if you pray, you pray. If you do pray, the essence of your prayer would be what? To embellish or to where you fuel or help, right? Your nature. Accentuate your nature, right? That's what you're praying for. I mean, you want to pray against yourself? So if you're bird, you want to pray, you keep on flying because you love flying. You understand this process? I'm trying to get to understand one of these things. I'm trying to understand what they're saying here. See, because the essence of if you was asked some mystery regarding anything, the most important thing you ask them is to assist you in your nature, to help, to fuel your nature, to feed your nature. Right? Accentuate your nature. You understand? And right now, as a nation, we ain't doing any prayer at all. We fighting against our nature. See? So when you start going according to your nature, right, then it's your prayer. And I'm telling you, our nature, 5 pillars of Islam, right? This description we get at every time there's a change in reality. Well, let me put it another way. Every season, we get a scripture. That's our mind. These are things. And if we stay in sync with that, that's the prayer. I'll leave it there. That's something to look at. We'll talk about it more another time. Okay. Something to look at. Something you probably never thought about. Let's look at this for a second, brothers and sisters.
Does Trump's win make bombing Iran's nuclear site likely? Now that's what I want you to look at. Yes. And this is in a Jerusalem paper, and there's an interview from the Jerusalem Post with the former Israeli ambassador to the United States, number one. Let's listen to a clip of what he said about the possibility of bombing Iran now that Donald Trump is winning.
What does a Trump win mean for Israel vis-a-vis Iran?
It means 2 things. One, they conclude that they now have 3 months between November and the swearing-in date in January, in which they can break out and create a nuclear weapon and not necessarily expect the American military response. Great travel period for Israel. On the other hand, and this is a big on the other hand, by contrast, President Biden will now be beholden to nobody, have no electoral concerns, may actually give Iran that military response. Will give Iran that military response. I think very significantly, President Biden has moved now 6 B-52 strategic bombers into the Middle East. Those bombers have one purpose and one purpose only. It's not defensive, they're offensive. And they can deliver from 50,000 feet in the air, that's higher than anything Iran can reach, 30,000-pound bunker-busting bombs. And if I were the Iranians, I wouldn't test Joe Biden.
So Israel is extremely dangerous as far as war in the Middle East. And that's coming from Israeli ambassador, okay? So I can see this from several viewpoints. Netanyahu thinking, I've got a window of opportunity. There's basically nobody running the show in Washington right now. I can attack Iran and get it over with before Donald Trump gets in the White House, because Donald's told me he doesn't want to deal with war when he gets in the White House. He wants to be focusing on the economy. I've got 3 months to pulverize Iran. Iran's thinking the same thing. We better get this over with before Trump gets in the White House. Right. Because if we push it too far, he may get mad and pulverize us. So if we're going to attack Israel, we better do it in the next 3 months. There's a window here between today and January 20th that the Middle East could go up in flames. Right. You know, this kind of reminds me of, remember back in 1980, the transition from Carter to Reagan. And I still remember sitting in our gym auditorium in high school, and they brought the big TV out on the front, because the hostages were being freed. And so because Reagan was afraid of Reagan. Right. So could we possibly say Trump do something along this? This is what he said. Ron knows Trump doesn't want war, but he's not afraid of it. So they may be thinking we've got to hit Israel now. Bibi Netanyahu is thinking the same thing, and he's got a new scandal. He's up to his ears in new scandals right now. We'll probably have to talk about it some more. But the other place to look at, I'm going to jump down to 34. This is Izvestia News. Russian military expert sees signs of preparation of the Ukrainian army withdrawing from the Kursk region of Russia. You know what that means? Zelensky said, game's up. Trump won, get our troops out. It's over. What's the point in keeping our troops inside Russia? We're not going to get any support. Get them out of there. Bring them in. So this is the ripple effect that we're seeing already. So we're going to see the war slowing down in Ukraine, but ramping up in the Middle East. There's going to be war in the Middle East. There really is, isn't there? There is. Does Trump's win make bombing Iran?
Okay, brothers and sisters, you know what he's saying? And this is exactly the scenario I've been talking about. Is that a coincidence that all of a sudden they're saying this period of time right now is the ideal time for that to blow up in the Middle East. And I said it's going to happen between now and beginning of winter on 21st of December. In this period of time. I've been saying for years. See? Everything's coming into place. And he gave a couple of scenarios, but he says, either way. Right? Either way. The war's got to blow up in the Middle East. He says, winding down in Ukraine. That's the opposite of what Farrakhan was saying, because Farrakhan was saying it was going to blow up, and Armageddon was going to blow up in Europe and spread all over the world. And Ishmael been saying, and what prophet says, and it will come to pass, you shouldn't pay attention to him. So that applied to Farrakhan, Ishmael, because this is exactly what I've been saying, and he's saying, Master saying, so I guess you believe the Master says it? Because he says this, the logic of it is, it has to take place very soon before January. You see? Before January. Right? So that's what, 2 weeks shy of the winter? Because winter starts 21st of December. Right? Well, that's a week or so. See? So I mean, it's got to happen within that window I just told you, according to him, because the logic of it says that has happened during that time. And then, let me explain. I'm going to talk about this new reality, what they're planning. But the thing is that I try to explain in detail. Right? I'm going to talk a couple of things, right? The Jews and the Christians been at each other's throats for 2,000 years. And when I say at each other's throats, I mean at each other's throats. First, the Jews had the upper hand, right? And then, as time went on, the Christians got the upper hand. Because when Rome, the Pope converted, because first of all, he was on the Jew side getting rid of all the Christians. And then he converted to Christianity, and then the tide switched, and then the Christians started having more control, more power. Because remember, at first, there was just a few of them. But the original Christians, right, they were all Jews. All of so-called Jesus followers, according to the Bible, they were all Jews, their disciples, right? Then they converted, they converted the other people, the Gentiles, so to speak, right? And they was persecuted by the Jews that weren't with Jesus, the Jews that opposed Jesus, okay? And eventually, they was persecuting them and burning them at the stake, and all the story, right? And eventually, right, as time went on, they got more and more influence. And then Constantine, I believe, was the Roman Caesar. He converted. And once that, then the power started shifting over towards the Christians who weren't Jews. Right? If we're going to use that term, Jews. And they've been at each other's throat ever since. Well, even from not ever since, but from the time of, according to the Bible, Isa, Eben, Miriam, it was at your throats, right? Eventually have crucified and everything else. So it's continued. Continued on up to Prophet Muhammad's time, where the Jews found refuge with the Muslims because the Christians was attacking them. See? And in Spain, they called Spain the Golden Age because in Spain was ruled by blacks, Moors, black Muslims. If you want to call them black Muslims, right? Spain was ruled by them, and the Jews flocked there because they protect them from the Christians. You understand? So this went on up until the 30s when they finally said, hey, let's get rid of all of them. And everybody was behind that. Nobody tried to stop Hitler from getting rid of them. No one. And then Elijah Muhammad appeared and says, oh, yeah. He didn't say stop that. He just says, no, we're true to Abraham. And once he starts seeing people responding to Elijah, say, hey, wait, hold. We can't have these people thinking they see Abraham, because if they take and get that vision and come together, it's toast for us. And I'm not going into all the details about that. Talk about how, that was their fear of us coming together and fighting against them and leaving all that stuff. Understand? So they set up false Israel. They set it up. Now remember, they set up and said, see, they're the true Abraham. But the whole point, when you read the thing, and Christians know this, they weren't supposed to take Palestine. They're supposed to take Arabia. See? But they couldn't put them in Arabia because they had an agreement with House Assad. Roosevelt and them made an agreement with House Assad that they would fuel them with oil. That's what made America great, because they got cheap oil, and they would protect their seat. Because, see, it wasn't ruled by House Assad, Arabia. They took that during, I think it was World War II. I believe they got control of it. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, brothers and sisters. They were black originally, they're white now. But you understand? So he made a deal with them so he couldn't. Right? And plus, they definitely want them Jews to get control of that oil. So they put them on Palestine. That sanctuary that said be set up for 76 years, 76.6 years. They set up, said the bombing destination was set up. So it was set up. That's what set up there. Gog and Magog, America and Britain, 666. There's 666. America's first six. Second six is false. Third six is Britain. Or Adam and Eve, they gave birth to Cain. That's an old story. The bottom line is that they set them up there. Because they didn't want to have control of that oil because they had agreement with House of Assad. And they definitely want to get them work. But only reason they set them up is to counter Elijah Muhammad's claim to keep us from having knowledge of who we are. Because knowledge of who we are, which we have a vision, we will come together, a great army, protected, not only just protected, but fueled, inspired by God himself. And they know that's their end because they're watching for that. That's why it says the only sign we give to them was sign Jonah, well, that was a sign of us coming together. Right? That was the beginning of it, because first they were getting rid of the demons, we kicking out, right? Because, well, that's, I didn't mean to get, oh boy, let me go ahead and get I'm getting distracted a little bit here. I'm going to spend 2 or 3 hours on this. But the bottom line is that the sign of Jonah makes it clear to them because the Son of Man's present. See? Because it says, when sign of Jonah, remember it said, there's someone greater than Jonah here. The Son of Man. So that means if they repent of, see, Farrakhan is their man. If they throw him out, right, and rally to the Son of Man, they'll know Son of Man's present and he's bringing the nation together. That's what sign of Jonah means to them. That's the only sign they would see. So they would recognize what's going on there. Their man's thrown out, right? And the nation's coming together, and Son of Man is present. It's the only sign given to them. See? Specifically. Now, the sign is there for you to see, but you won't see it. So they're looking for it. You're not looking for that. You are the sign. You see, you're not looking for that sign. You are the sign. Because what are you doing? You're seeking. Your seeking is what brings that sign about. Because you're seeking the message of the covenant. You understand, bro? You're seeking the message of the covenant. So you're the one bringing about that sign. So you ain't looking for that sign. You're seeking the message of the covenant. But that's a sign that you come together. That's a sign to the devil. That sign of your resurrection. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not a sign for you per se, because you are the sign. Am I making it clear enough for you, brothers and sisters? Now people say, hey, look, like I said, I'll be very careful about what I say about this, because remember, if they knew the hour and the time that this would happen, they would prevent it. So I got to be very careful how I speak about these things when I speak, and well, I should be careful how I speak about it, to put it like that. You understand? So you are the sign, but that's a sign. But because you're seeking the message of the covenant. But by you seeking the message of the covenant and you come together, you get your mind, you understand? And so that means you're throwing out legion. But that's a sign to them. They'll recognize a sign. But for you, that's not a sign. That's a realization of what you've been seeking. You understand, brothers and sisters? But it's a sign when that realization is realized, that's a sign to them that you come together, the resurrection. Understand? Okay. Now, like I said, they put false Israel up there to keep you from ever realizing, right? Prevent you from, you be seeking, but make sure you never find. You be confused, and that's what Pharaoh comes on, because he's trying to pretend that he's the messenger coming somehow. Right? He's the Jesus and all that kind of stuff. Confuse you. That's part of the confusion, what that's all about. Right? And so he did that because that's why false Jews up there, see? Because he never taxed that. He talked about the sarcastic Jews, but he never talks about false Israel up there. Anyway, you understand? So that's the situation. So think about it. Okay, now, false Israel, remember, they had a lot of security breaches. And so they know, remember, Christians still they hate them. They still want to get rid of them. They still want to get rid of them. But they need them to keep us from realizing who we are. So it's a dilemma. They put them up, right? And they got to support them. Remember, they're supposed to have been to Arabia. So that shows that there's a lie right there. Because right there, if you look at it, say, well, that can't be sweet Abraham because they should be getting Arabia. They should be getting Jerusalem. And that's where the abomination desolation would be. Said be in a place where they should not be. So who should not be there? Arabs should be there. Only people shouldn't be there. Those people call themselves Jews. See? So that's a problem right there within itself. But the Jews, right? See, and most of them are just Europeans that converted. That's another story. But they know that the Christians trying to get rid of them. They know that when they put them up there, right, to keep us down, use them to keep us down. And once they no longer need them to do that, they're going to get rid of them. They know that. So the thing is that they playing the game, but they want, right? So they got to figure out a way to outsmart the Christians. So they know they got the Christians by the butt because the Christians got to support them to keep them up there, to keep us from figure out who we are. Keep our identity secret away from us. Right? So they know that's why they're here. And so they can't get rid of them as long as we exist. If we don't exist anymore, they don't need them anymore. If we don't exist anymore, they don't need them anymore. You understand? They know that. And they know they're preparing to get rid of us. See, and that's what I'm going to talk about in a minute. They know they're planning to get rid of us. Once they get rid of us, they get rid of them. So they know it's a fight against time. So the thing is, and now you understand what's going on. So why are they supporting everybody? Why are they supporting false Israel? Why are they supporting it? See, now you know why they're supporting them. Because everybody said, don't make any sense. America going broke. Now support them. I just told you that's why. And why is false Israel doing what they want to do? They ain't listen to America. Because America's got to support them to keep us down. So they ain't got to listen to America. America's got to do whatever they want because America needs them more than they need them. Right? America needs them. So they take and soak America, say, they do what they want to do. America got to support it because America let them go down. So that's why they're like an unruly child. Right? And they know that once we're gone, they're going to get them next. So they got to expand their power. They're nuclear power, but they know they stole our vision. So they say our true vision is the whole Middle East. So that's why they get in America and they got and they got all the Christian Jews. I mean, the preachers about you know what, because they can't say that's wrong. Because they say, yeah, they're supposed to get returned to the promised land. That's the whole promised land. So when they go and take Syria and all these plans, they got to back them up. Because that's what their real goal is. Take Iran, take Iraq, take Syria, take all those countries, Jordan, and then invade these countries, and they're helping them. Because they got to, because they say, we can't speak against them. We got to support them because we need them to make sure we don't become empowered. Because we become empowered, that's the end for them. You understand? So what happens is that false Israel knows they got to take and do something to protect themselves. Because once we're gone, they're gone. Because once we're gone, America no longer support them. Their enemies all in the Middle East. If they don't support America, they'll be toast in an hour. So that's why they push it. So only thing that's stopping them taking over the whole Middle East, is like the prophecy's supposed to say, and the preacher's backing up, is Iran. So they need America to take out Iran. If America doesn't want to take out Iran because they know the ramifications, but they're in a rock and hard place. They keep saying, well, you know, they got, what do you call it, nervous feet or whatever, about Iran. But also keep pressing. Because in order to take out Iran, they get America to take out Iran, they get the whole Middle East. Then now they protect it from the Christians. Because what? They got the whole Middle East. They got the source of the fuses, the reality of the West, all of it. And plus their nuclear power. So now they got America, the Christians on their knees. That's the game plan, brothers and sisters. That's the game plan. You see, that's what's going on. That's why they push it. Get Iran, take out Iran, take Iran. Because nothing can stop them. Only once, remember, all the wars in the past, they walked like knife through butter until Iran rose up and started some of these projects all over the place, and now they have a problem going 1 inch in any place. Or they was just running all over these countries. They ran all over Syria, they ran all over Lebanon, they ran all these countries. But then once Iran started getting stronger in some of these projects, Hezbollah and all them, they found to stand still. So they got to take out Iran. And once they got Iran, then they could take a whole Middle East. Then America, they can't touch them. You see? Then America take out us, right? But they can't. But now they can't take out. But the Jews are protected. You see, that interests America's plans. You understand, brothers and sisters? That's what's going on here. See, but they have a plan, and Allah has a plan. Master Muhammad has a plan. Sunnah has a plan. But Master Muhammad, he has a greater plan because he got to ignite the whole affair. See, that's what's going on here. See, because they want to get rid of us, but they can't. They have to get rid of us before they take them out, and they know they're trying to get rid of us now. So they say, well, we got to race against time now. We got to take Iran out first and get the Middle East before they take, because they know that's why everything's moving so fast now. That's why false systems move so fast now. We got to hurry up because they can really take them niggas out. They take them out, then we lost. So we got to move fast. We got to get control of the Middle East fast. That's why they push it so hard. They're trying to get America to take out Iran. So you got America take out Syria and Iraq, but Iran is the main one. See, because Syria and Iraq were very formidable in the past. See? But not as formidable as Iran. And they got to take out Iran. That's why they push it for it. That's what's going on, bro. So we understand. It's not going to turn out that way, but that's what's going on here. See? And now you see, because they're planning to take us out. As people come across the board, I talk about the transition team, all that kind of stuff. It's moving very fast. Very fast. But you don't see it because they got you playing video games, NFL, scratching your ass, walking around naked, and everything else. See, but Master Muhammad's going to shake out that nightmare. You're going to wake up from it, that daydream, because that war that they want, they don't get America to go for it. But the problem is, it's not going to go the way they want. It's going to go the opposite. It's going to go the opposite. Because Master Muhammad's going to be assisting them. It says Michael and his angels. It's going to the opposite. That's going to interrupt everything, because now what's going to happen is that the economy, and the total Western economy is going to collapse. Chapter 18. When it collapses, right, just before they attack you, right, it collapses, and then you're going to wake up. Uh-oh, no food, no heat, no clothes. You see? Because they got you drugged on the American dream. They got you hooked on the American dream. He's going to destroy it. See? So, you're going to see that before they attack you. You understand? You're going to see this great, this time primarily the Nation of Islam. They're going to see the great light. But that light going to be spread to you. And I'll talk about that. But the point is that you're not going to flee until it's almost too late. And that's another story. I'm not getting into that right now. I'm trying to get you to understand here. You see? Because they're planning to get rid of you. And that's what the limit that Jews have and the limit that Christians have. You're right in the middle of it. So they are going to attack you, because the war's going to go the other way around. As far as Israel going to siege, and that's how you're going to realize, right? Said that's your sign then. That's your sign. Because say when you see Jews are signed by armies, flee. That's going to be your sign specifically, because they're telling you to flee. Sign of Jonah is specifically their sign that you should see, but you're not going to see, right? And the Nation of Islam, they don't need to see it because they are the sign. And so then you got all that particulars in fleeing, crisis, panic, all that. I talk about that. I'm going to talk about a little more, right? But time I'm pressing trouble, brothers and sisters. I tell you, it's not. I'm not looking forward to it. Okay? Because if you've been listening for the last 30 years, you wouldn't have to go through this. Like many of you are going to be lost for lack of knowledge. Might be lost for lack of knowledge. Maybe lost for lack of knowledge because you wait till the very last minute. And if you wait, and that's what it says, most of you are going to wait until national security alert once they're attacking. Because he said, right, those who are pregnant, they're talking about, you're still here. When national security alert is to get rid of you. And most of you are going to be lost. Like I revealed yesterday, most of you that living in their communities, isolated, those you in the ghettos and all these different places, right? A lot of you gonna be lost. But that's gonna give you a heads up on Hajj. Because you're gonna be all blacks be attacked. That means you ain't gonna be arguing about, right? The demons, they may be into the demons, they aren't arguing about that too much that time either. Some of them will be. But at that point, you all come together because you being attacked, or you being attacked. You all gonna come together. And say you all come together, then the deeds be sorted out. So a lot of you, that's how you're gonna survive, because a lot of you gonna come together. You have to fight your way to your destination. 100, 200,000 of you, whatever, in the community, in Atlanta, some of the communities, 1,000 people in the community, whatever. Right? You see? So that's something I revealed yesterday, so I'm telling you now. If you're a loner, live in their community, or you married to one of them, I don't know. Your future is devil shit. Best I can tell you. Well, let's look at this, brothers and sisters. It's right here. Okay, here we go. Now, I'll give you the background here, brothers and sisters. Fast, I tell you, I don't know, brothers and sisters. Not enough time in the day. So I'm 70. I'll be 76 years old in a few months, and I got a lot of stuff to do. This is the first part, first stage. My mission is phase one. I got several phases afterwards. It's more complicated, more intense than this. Right? So I can't be in a wheelchair. I can be playing around. I can be change people's diapers, hold their hand. I have time for it. I never had time for it before. I really don't have time for it now. Right? So like, I was going to the gym once in the morning. I'm going twice a day now. Right? And all the things I'm doing. Right? Because the worst is yet to come, brothers and sisters. But if you want to be a god, like I said, if you want to be an Olympic star, look all the training you got to go through. If you want to be Arnold, right, you may take steroids, but steroids ain't enough. You got to put the work in. So you want to be a diamond, you got to go into intense pressure. And that's what it's all about, brothers and sisters. That's Dr. Shabazz, his idea. Who can survive it? Who'll be able to stand? See? When the Mahdi, see, I was reading this thing, I don't want to go into this, brothers and sisters. But, this so-called Sunni thing, right? Some of the Mahdi, which is Master Muhammad, and the Christ, right? That would be Suleiman, right? So they would come together. But they don't understand any of that stuff themselves. They got it, but they don't understand. Anyway, so a little background here. Brothers and sisters, they try to tell you, they always try to clean stuff up, blood stuff up. American flag, they can't complain, point the finger with false doing because they did 1,000 times worse. How do you think America got started? Genocide, stolen land, kidnapped, raped us, beat us 400 years, raped us, burned us, and everything else. What they doing over there is like comedy hour compared to what America did. But they try to have, they like amnesia when it comes to America. So how you just all they got to point back for what the hell do you know? Okay? So when you're talking about so-called slavery ended, it didn't end because they loved you. They ended because they no longer needed you. They went from agricultural age to industrial age. Industrial age, they didn't need people on the farms no more. So they had all kinds of ideas to get rid of you. Some said, let's send them back to Africa. They just sent somebody here in Liberia. They sent somebody who said, we can't afford some of these niggas back there. It's too much money. They got you over here, right? So they can't afford to say. So he said, all kinds of ideas. Right? But you didn't get 40 acres of mule? Did you get any of that stuff? They threw in a ditch, they threw the demons in behind you. They gave you nothing. They put you in jails and chain gangs and everything else. They didn't need you anymore. They went from an agricultural age, that's what slavery is all about, industrial age. Now, what does industrial slaves look like? I had somebody all day, he looked at me, and then it dawned on him, he didn't want to answer. He didn't want to answer. Because he never thought of it that way. I said, what would slavery look like in the industrial age? And he hit him. I looked in his eyes, I could see it. I could see it. He didn't want to say it. Because then he knew he was a damn slave. Because that's what an employee is. Employee is an industrial slave. That's what an employee is, an industrial slave. You're still a slave. As the angels, as it tells you, 400 years, you'll be enslaved by these people 400 years and say 320 years, 400 years up to 1619 to 2019. And some of you still slaves, but that's by choice. Because if you listen to Elijah and the message of coming, you will no longer be serving them. That's on you. You're still a slave. If you're an employee, you're a slave. Industrial slave. That's what slavery looks like in the industrial world. Now, what would slavery look like in the AI age? That's a robot. That's what they're trying to make you into. A robot. Negro butt. See, you were a robot to begin with. That's what made you 40 years ago. Negro butt. You was the first robots. Negro butt. See, they went from there to employees, right? And next, cyborgs. That's the next stage for you if you survive. If they keep you here, they automate your ass. See, because once they put that on you, they control you electronically. They control you electronically then. You don't have to put the police force or nothing. You act up, boom, they snap button, you zap your ass. Ah! Okay, more. You understand, brothers and sisters? And they're going to come to that. But that's the next stage. If they left you alive, they're going to turn you into cyborgs. There'll be cyborgs too, but they'll be the one, the master cyborg, and you'll be the slave cyborg. They'll control you. They'll put electrodes and stuff in you, and all they got to do is press a button, and you're going to do what they tell you to do. Ah! That's the next stage for you. That's what a slave looks like in the industrial in the robotic age. Okay? You know they make it. Yeah, they make robots, but that's a better robot because it thinks. See, those things they don't think. They process. They're not conscious, but this one does. It's conscious, and it do exactly whatever you be the best robot, best slave they ever had. Because they ain't got to beat you anything. Just press a damn button. And you're going to do whatever they tell you to do. You give no, and they'll know what you're thinking. Because it's going to be right on the monitor. And they'll have AI. Oh, he's thinking this. They know exactly what you're going to do. They control how. You don't have to control your actions. You don't have to sleep. You control all of that. That's the next stage for you. You don't understand. You asleep. See? How you employee? How you feel about that? Bye-bye. McDonald's. How you feel about that? See? You think Bezos, whatever his name is, and what's the other guy's name? SpaceX guy, whatever. You think they're billionaires? You think they make $1 million a year? You think they work 1,000,000 times harder than you? You don't understand, brothers and sisters. They went you from a field slave into industrial slave, agricultural slave, but you pick cotton, all that kind of stuff, to industrial slave. Now you're working 8 hours a day, you're doing what the master tells you to do. You still got a supervisor, you still got the same structure you had before. You got somebody own the place, the plant. They was calling them plants. They figured, oh man, they might figure that one out. Stop calling them plants and start calling them factories. They was calling them plants. They start calling them factories. And then you work here. You got a supervisor, that's a taskmaster. The master owns the place, the plantation. That car you got, right? 90% of us usually get back and forth to work, ain't it? You in democracy, if you don't do what the master tell you to do a job, you get fired. Then you starve to death. See? They give you illusions of freedom. You ain't got no freedom here. You had freedom before you came here. Birds have freedom. You understand? I can go into more detail, but you understand what's going on here, brothers and sisters? That's what's planned for you. That's if they don't eradicate you altogether. Then they have total control of you. Okay? And you remember you flesh and blood. So they do all that freakish stuff on you. Have you do freak shows. Now they do our women, or stuff doing to our women and everything else. Have you and everything else, because you want to do whatever they tell you to do. You won't have no mind of your own. The only mind who has the mind they give you. And that's totally controlled by them. See, you have no independence of nothing. You be total under control of them. You just be conscious of it. That's all. You will not be happy. Or they reward you. They press a button. Hey, you've been a good nigga. You feel good, right? But they'll be under total control of it. You won't see that you say what they tell you to say. You will have no independence. You won't be doing no marrying and none of that stuff. I try to make it clear to you, brothers and sisters. But, you know, and see, we're bringing a new world. See, this is the world. The world I just showed, that's the world they're trying to bring in. An electronic world. We had total control of you, total. We had no voting on that. All that crap is gone. AI. See, and we bring in a totally independent world, free, biological world. See, because our whole creation is biological. Oh, we have machines to travel back and forth and certain things, but we build a biological world because that's whole creation is biological. That's what they found every time they went. All this technology you think is great. They brought in this because they bring in the mechanical world, because this mechanical world is against the biological world. Because they're destroying this biological world. They destroy this biological world. Because this world they bring in is destroying the biological world. You got two recreations here. You got two realities. You got a biological reality or you got the mechanical reality, and they're at war with each other right now. It's about global warming and all that kind of stuff. But they steadily building robots and everything else. See, because if they get rid of this biological world, they won't need it. Because they got a robotic world. They won't need it anymore. They won't need plants and all that kind of stuff. They got chemicals. They got electricity. They don't need the biological world anymore because the biological world is against them. They don't need disease. All that stuff is gone. They could, right? Because they're cyborgs. They have a mechanical body. Their brain inside a mechanical body. Your brain being inside, but they have total control of yours. You understand? So they bring in that, and that's just, and if they do that, we destroy it. We destroy it because our world is a biological world. That's the world they found. They've been destroying. Their reality has been destroyed. That's why the Quran says there's corruption in land and sea because of what they're doing. You understand? I'm trying to tell you, the weather, all you see, the weather, all this kind of stuff, all this stuff is part of the warfare between these two realities. See? And they're pushing harder on this mechanical reality. They're pushing harder on AI and everything. They're pushing real hard. See? But Suleiman, Master Muhammad, they're pushing this biological reality. And they're in conflict with each other. See? And he getting ready to destroy the source of this mechanical reality because it's fueled by oil. See? It's fueled by oil. And so you're going to be reduced to a biological reality in a minute because that's all this stuff ain't going to work. And so in the tribulation, you're going to be dealing with a biological reality. See, because all this stuff in the tribulation, all this stuff is not working. So now you got to start building a biological reality from scratch. From scratch. Because you'll be fighting through this. And you'll be destroying what's left of this. It starts right here. Because this is where the base is. Doing them as they've done to you. So that's what, and that's why I told you, America, we're told to be nuked because this is the base, the root of it. All this whole biological, the mechanical reality has to be totally destroyed. I'll make all things new. All things new back to a biological reality. See? You read the Quran, it's talking about garden, that's why I call it a garden. There's a conflict between the two. But some of you think this is great. Farrakhan think this, oh man, it's great, man. They got computers, they got all this stuff. We got things, right? They do the same thing, but it's not based on this type of technology. Master Muhammad got that wheel up there, they don't know what kind of technology that's based on. They know they can't touch it. You see? You understand what's going on here, brothers and sisters? It's a conflict between the two. And so if this comes in, it starts disrupting that. That's the first the first attack Master Muhammad gonna do. Is he gonna stop the fuel and bring this whole economy down? You understand? It's mechanical reality. His first weapon is hunger, because this reality, their food, they're based on this type of reality. So, now, hunger. Can't feed them. See? Because that's their food source, resource, and everything is come from this type of reality. See? Most of it's processed and everything now. Everything eating, so anything is natural. They're trying to make the food and the meat and everything processed. You understand, brothers and sisters? They're trying to come in, and that's I'm telling you, I'll make it clear to you. They have fights, these two realities coming right now, and Master, I'm making ready, right? And I'm getting ready to give you the mind of the biological reality. Talking about pressure, consequence. How these things work. Understand how the universe works. You understand? See? The essence of it. 5 fundamentals. Ain't nothing in there has a mechanical base to it. Did you notice that? See? I'm telling you, you need guns and all that kind of stuff. They need, that's mechanical. What you need is biological. Everything I told you, the 5 pillars are all about biology. How you manage your energy. Does that make it clear enough for you, brothers and sisters? And you got to come to that level, because most of you still here. I had one person come at me, I'm going to get I'm going to fire range, get guns and stuff. See, you have no idea what we're talking about here. It's two conflicting vision. They're at war with each other. And so you have that's tribulation, because you ain't going to have all this. You're going to have, the only thing you have is your biology, 5 pillars, right? This vision, and that's the vision you're going to be following through tribulation. That's the vision you have to realize. That's the vision that's going to take you, that you're going to build your paradise from. We have houses and things like that, but it won't be based on this technology. Initially, we will, because actually we take Arabia and said we houses you haven't built, and then we start from there. We get rid of all this stuff. We're gonna make all things new. Start replacing it. You understand, brothers and sisters? I hope you do. But you gotta come to that level. See? Here you go. See? We're gonna have this here. They want to convert it back to this. See? We're gonna bring this in. And they want to keep you from doing it. They want this one to come in. Conflict between the two. Okay? This is us. Our women. Our beautiful women. Goddesses of the universe. Okay? Our reality, and they're the mother of the universe. Understand? Reality we're bringing in. Okay? And they're against it. Okay? Biological reality, a garden. A garden as wide as heaven and earth. And say a city as wide as heaven and earth. A plantation as wide as heaven and earth. You say a garden as wide as heaven and earth. See, I don't think y'all pay attention to these things. I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. I could say a lot more about it, but I think that should be enough right there. That should be enough right there. This was at stake. As things come to a head the next few weeks before December 21st. Right? Then it's going to be clear. It's going to be clear who you are, because if you don't know who you are, you don't know who your enemies are. If you don't know who you are, you're probably your enemy. You are your enemy. You have to know who you are, then you know who your enemies are. Once you understand who you are, that's what you're going to find out in a minute. Then when you're going to find out who you are, right, and what and your nature and your reality is going to reflect your nature. Like those birds, as birds pray, your reality is going to affect, your reality is an expression of your nature. And you find your reality is biological base, not this robotic stuff where they're trying to train you, get control of, because they're a cancer to this reality. So the thing is, if you're cancer and you're intelligent, you know one or two things happen. Either the body will get rid of you, or you get rid of the body. See? Because this reality is a cancer. Because see, they're against it. They be fighting it, disease and everything else. All this stuff. Because so they have to come to this mechanical universe, mechanical reality. That's what they're building fast. They build AI and everything else. They went from the agriculture age, industrial age, and now they're going to AI age, right? And if you come along, they're going to turn you into that. Then you'll be an AI slave. You won't be an employee anymore because they ain't going to pay you then. See, employees, right? See, when you're a slave in the field, they have to feed you, right? So now as industrial slaves, they got to pay you. See, here, right? All they got to do is just electrify your ass, give you some electricity, keep you going. That's all they got to do. Hope you understand, bro. So I'm going to leave it there. So this future news. This is the future news out. Zoom on out. Assalamu alaikum.